Hello and welcome to the Daily Meal for Saturday the 27th of November 2021. Now is match day today and we lost 2-1 at Hull City. Not entirely unexpected. They'd won 3 games in a row. They're on a very good run of form. Bit of a tough place for us to go over the years. I think we've only won up 4 times up there over about 30 games, so was always going to be a tough game and didn't really get going for Millwall. So this is the match report from news@den.co.uk. Hull City 2, Millwall 1. Gary Rowett was left to rue a string of missed chances as Millwall became the latest side to succumb to resurgent Hull. Tom Bradshaw levelled for the Lions with his 3rd goal of the season in first half stoppage time, but despite dominating for long spells and carving out a series of openings, they left with nothing to show for their efforts. Ryan Longman's 53rd minute winner, the midfielder's first since joining on the season's loan from Brighton, condemned Millwall to only a 5th league defeat of the season to leave them 5 points off the top 6. A 4th straight win for the improving Tigers helped to pull them further away from the Championship drop zone after they came out in top in the contest the visitors deserved to take something from. Rowett made 2 changes as backed by 350 hardy Millwall fans. In the way end, the Lions' latest stop off in their tour of the North East Coast took them to the rain-lashed, wind-swept MKM Stadium. In a 4-2-3-1 setup, Shea Ojo came in for Scott Malone and Bradshaw was preferred up front ahead of Mason Bennett from the side, which fought back to earn a deserved 1-1 draw with promotion favourites Bournemouth in midweek. Ojo proved his worth from the very first whistle, helping to fashion 2 decent chances, with Benikofobi in the opening 20 minutes dominated by the visitors. Starting on the right flank, the online Liverpool winger linked well with Jed Wallace, who burst into the box to stand up an inviting cross to the far post where an unmarked Afobe should have done better with a wayward header well over the bar from 10 yards out. The forward was at least on target when after 18 minutes he was put through by Ojo's intelligent diagonal ball into the box, only for Nathan Baxter to tip his effort over. From Wallace's corner, Murray Wallace saw his goal-bound close-range effort hacked to safety. Only a last-gasp intervention by Jacob Greaves spared Baxter's blushes when Afobe almost cut out the keeper's miscue clearance with the goal at the striker's mercy had he managed to intercept inside the area. It appeared just a matter of time before Millwall would be rewarded for their dominance with a goal, but when the deadlock was broken in the 29th minute, it was the hosts who took the lead. There was little apparent danger, but when Billy Mitchell lost a 50-50 challenge outside his 18-yard box, the Lions were caught flat-footed as Greaves swung over an inciting centre from the left, which was headed home by George Honeyman for his 3rd goal in the last 4 games as the midfielder marked his 100th appearance for the club in style. It was a bit of a pill to swallow given they had made most of the running, but to their credit, Rowett's men fought back to the deservedly level with only their 7th goal before the interval in the game so far this season. Afobe deserves credit for putting Bradshaw through on goal with an astute pass to cut out a square Hull defence. There was still plenty to do, but the forward held his nerve to slot the ball past Baxter from the edge of the area. The first goal conceded by the Tigers in more than 5.5 hours of football. There was still time for a major let-off when an unmarked Malik Wilkes volleyed over from 6 yards for the Tigers with the last kick of an entertaining first 45 minutes fought out in worsening weather conditions. Bradshaw almost doubled his tally with Mill's first threat of the second half, but was unable to apply enough pressure to a free header from Jed Wallace's centre, allowing Baxter to make a comfortable save. It proved to be a costly miss as Hull regained the lead almost immediately. Longman following up to score left-footed from inside the 6-yard box after Bart Biakowski had saved well from a Josh McGuinness effort. As they had done when falling behind before the break, Millwall responded well to being in arrears for a second time. Baxter did well to beat out a fierce angled drive from Danny McNamara after the defender had been teed up by George Saville, whose near post header from the resulting corner was well saved by the busy Hull keeper. Phobie capped a frustrating afternoon when the forward blazer shot high over the bar after a weak defensive header fell to him invitingly on the edge of the box to see side's last chance go begging. And the team was Biakowski, McNamara, Ballard, Hutchinson, Murray-Wallace, Mitchell, Saville, Ojo, Bradshaw, Jed Wallace and a Phobie. And Smith came on 67 minutes for Bradshaw. Bennett came on for Ojo on the 72nd minute, and Evans came on for Saville in the 82nd minute. So there you go. There you go. Yeah. Just wasn't our day today. Wasn't our day. And as you can see on the table on the right hand side, we stay 10th on 27 points, and everyone's just bunching up now except for the teams above us in the playoffs. They are getting a bit of a gap going on between the rest of us, but the pack in which we are is all bunched up now. And let's move on now to 4 takeaways from Millwall's 2-1 loss at Hull City. This is from londonnewsonline.co.uk. So Millwall conceded 2 really soft goals as they were beaten 2-1 by Hull at the MKM Stadium on Saturday afternoon. George Honeyman opened the scoring for the Tigers after he ghosted into the penalty area. Tom Bradshaw equalised right on the stroke of half time with a well executed strike, but former AFC Wimbledon loanee Ryan Longman was quickest to react after Bartosz Biakowski parried a shot from Josh McGuinness to give the hosts all 3 points. Sierra Kai Bennett's 4 takeaways from the game. Millwall bossed possession but can't capitalise on it. The Lions had 59% of the ball but couldn't make that count as they searched for a leveller. The South Londoners had 671 touches compared to their opposition's 525, but were wasteful in possession and couldn't quite find that killer pass to unlock the whole defence in a search for the second goal. Despite the defeat, Millwall had a few really good chances to equalise, but the ball did not quite fall to them. George Saville was inches away from levelling twice throughout the match. The Northern Ireland international looked set to tap home, but the ball was intercepted before his glancing header was excellently saved by Nathan Baxter. Danny McNamara came close when he was put through by Saville, but his shot was straight out of the keeper. I did mention in yesterday's video, the preview video, like how Hull gonna play on the counter against us at home, but apparently they did. They just let us have possession, and they found a way to play on the counter against us, even though they were at home. I did warn about that happening. Tom Bradshaw scores 3rd goal in 3 starts. The former Barnsley striker scored just before the half-time whistle to send Millwall in level. Phobie looked up and found Bradshaw with an exquisite through ball, and he raced through on goal and calmly slotted the ball into the back of the net. The 29-year-old had Jay Ojo to the left of him, but decided to go it alone to score his 3rd goal of the season. His goal against the Tigers was his 2nd goal contribution in as many matches after he flicked on to send Phobie through to score against Bournemouth on Wednesday evening. Bradshaw is out of contract at the end of the season, and we'll be hoping his contributions don't go unnoticed by Millwall or by anyone else. More goals need to be found from somewhere. Yeah, indeed, they do. Millwall struggled to score more than 1 goal in a match this season. They've only scored more than a single goal 3 times in 20 Championship League games this season, and found it an issue again today. 2 goals came against Stoke City and Sheffield United last month after the South London club came from behind to beat back Blackpool in August. The lack of goals in the Millwall side are likely to be a concern for Gary Rowett, and they may potentially look to solve that problem in January. Phobie, a loan signing from Stoke, scored 4 goals this season, while last season's top scorer Jed Wallace has found the net 5 times and registered 5 assists. The Lions average a goal a game and have now scored 20 goals in 20 games. They didn't have a lack of chances either against a newly promoted side. There were plenty of occasions when the ball just wouldn't quite drop for Millwall. If they want to push for the playoffs, the top end of the pitch is the area they need to improve on. Yes, indeed, we do. We really do. But how's that going to happen? Now, you could say if we had the better players, that would be good. They cost a lot of money. Then you've got to look at the system that Gary Rowett's playing. A lot of the fans have been going week in, week out for many years are pointing the finger at that and saying that's not helping. But I don't know, what is it? We need to get some goals from somewhere. 5 at the back ditch. The lines have lined up. 5 at the back ditch. The lines have lined up as a back 4 in consecutive games after playing with a back 5 for the majority of the season. Wednesday's draw against Bournemouth was a fantastic attacking performance, and Rowett opted to keep the back 4 for the trip to Hull. Despite the defeat at the MKM Stadium, Mill came so close to levelling the score on numerous occasions, but couldn't quite find that decisive touch to get the ball over the line. If played correctly, Mill will have plenty of pace, and the back 4 gives them a lot of attacking freedom. Indeed. So there's the 4 takeaways from the game today from Kai Bennett. So let's get into Gary Rowett's post-match comments. So this is from LondonNewsOnline.co.uk. Millwall failed to deliver the same level of performance at Hull as they produced against Bournemouth. Gary Rowett was frustrated that Mill did not produce the same level of performance in today's 2-1 defeat at Hull as they did in their 1-1 draw against high-flying Bournemouth on Wednesday night. The 2-1 defeat to the Tigers leaves the South London club 10th in the Championship. Rowett said, "We turn up against Bournemouth and we use the ball really well. Then we turn up against Hull and we are really wasteful in possession. We could have taken the easy option today and come here looking for a point and played 5-2-3. There was an opportunity to test us and see what we are about after our performance against Bournemouth at home. Maybe I got that wrong. Maybe the sort of drive to be more attacking has left us too open at the back. I've got to think about the balance. Today it was just about doing our jobs a bit better at times, and the game wouldn't have been so open. When a game is open, you are hoping you can take the chances in those moments when your front players have more space than they normally have. We didn't do that today. There were countless balls in the box and we've had a couple cleared off the line. Jed has a chance with a header late on. We couldn't find it today, and I have to give credit to Hull. They fought for their lives. You have to do the right things every week. If you're consistent most weeks, you get the right result. If you're not, then most weeks you won't." There's Gary Rowett's comments there. Not much I can say about that. And more comments from Gary Rowett here. This is from news@den.co.uk. What did I say? Didn't do our jobs properly. Mill's Gary Rowett gives his reaction to Hull City defeat. Gary Rowett was disappointed Mill couldn't follow up their positive performance against Bournemouth on Wednesday and felt his side gifted goals in their 2-1 defeat at Hull City. The Lions had only lost 2 of their previous 14 games and were third in the Championship form guide, but went behind when George Honeyman scored in the 29th minute. Tom Bradshaw equalised a minute into first half added time, but it was Grant McCann's side who got the winner through Ryan Longman's goal in the 53rd minute. "I'm disappointed because we played so well Wednesday night against Bournemouth," Rowett said when asked for his reaction. "We played against a very good side and did everything right that you need to do and try and win a game like that. We spoke to the players about how it's no different when you come to Hull. They had won the last 3 games on the spin. You have to make sure you do all the right things in terms of your team shape. You have to have a base to then go and attack. We went with a pretty attacking lineup to see if we could cause them problems. Slightly different formation than we played in a lot of the away games. We just didn't quite do enough to win the game. We've created chances, we had more control and possession. But you've got to take those chances and be more ruthless, and that's something that we haven't done enough this season. We conceded 2 very poor goals from our perspective. I'm sure Hull will see it slightly different in a slightly different way. The first goal was a good header, but we had spoken about those runs from Honeyman from deep, but we didn't pick him up. We let him run off us. He ends up free in the box. The second one is a second phase from a set piece where any of 3 players could have tapped it in, but we didn't do our jobs properly. To get back into the game and then lose it with such a poor goal is disappointing. We created chances after that, but it didn't take them, and huffed and puffed for the last 10 minutes. I thought Hull just about dealt with what we threw at them. We've had chances all throughout the season. We're something like 6th or 7th in the league for chances created. We are creating a lot of chances, but for some reason with the quality players we've got in forward areas, to score 1 goal every game seems to be almost hard work. to believe, because we were getting in those positions a lot. We just needed a little bit more clinical edge. When you create those chances, you have to take them. Otherwise, not doing those little things like not defending the set piece properly can take the game away from you. I don't think there was much in the game. It was just about who could take their moments. In my opinion, we've given our moments away rather than scoring a quality goal. I'm not saying they didn't deserve it, because they worked incredibly hard, but it wasn't quality that lost us that game. It was us not doing our jobs properly. Yes, indeed. And as we've said, we say this over and over the time, it's the Millwall way. You play a team at the top of the table and the players play fantastically. They play like they should be Premier League. And then we play a team at the bottom of the league, sometimes rock bottom, massive points difference, like clearly the worst team in the league, not whole, but in previous times when we played a team that's cutting away adrift at the bottom of the table, and we end up just fucking playing dog shit. And it's the Millwall way. It's the way we play. It's what Millwall do. It's what they do. So moving on now to more comments from Gary Rowett. This is also from news@den.co.uk. A Mill boss on goal struggles after whole loss, as Lions are joint lowest in top half with Blackpool. Gary Rowett admitted Mill don't have enough players getting towards double figures in goals after their 2-1 defeat at Hull City on Saturday left them level with Blackpool as the joint lowest scorers in the top half of the Championship. The Lions have scored 20 goals in 20 games. Tom Bradshaw struck for Mill at Hull, but the hosts won their 4th consecutive game to hand the visitors just a 3rd defeat in 15 games. It's all doom and gloom, but we've only lost 3 games in 15. But it feels like it's a funny old season. It doesn't feel like that, because we've got so many draws, and you don't get a boost when you draw. Like, you can say, oh, the draw at Middlesbrough was a good result, the draw against Bournemouth was a good result, but you don't feel good after a draw. You're not happy after a draw, unless you nick the draw right at the end in a game that you have no freaking right to get anything from, and you end up getting a draw in the 89th, 90th minute, and you go, oh, then you can be happy about getting a draw. But otherwise, if you get a draw, it doesn't mean anything. But we've only lost 3 times in 15 games. But since Millwall were promoted back to the Championship in 2017-2018, only 2 strikers, Lee Gregory and Matt Smith, have scored 10 league goals or more in a season. It's been the difference for the last 2 seasons, Rowett said. We've not had that clinical edge in front of goal. We've not had enough goal scorers headed towards double figures. It's a challenge for any team that are a good side, but want to be a really good side. I took a bit of a gamble today, going a little bit more attacking in the 4-2-3-1 formation, and that was always going to leave us a tiny bit more open shape-wise. I felt it was worth the risk. We could have tried to come here and get a point like we've done in so many away games, but we've got to start winning more games to get to where we want to be. Unfortunately today it worked against us and we ended up losing the game. People have got to step up and take goal chances. You can only get into those areas and create those opportunities. I don't think there's a magic recipe in this division to suddenly turn on the switch and score loads of goals. We've got to work a little bit harder. We've spoken about set pieces. We've not been a big enough threat, and we've started to concede some at the other end. We've got to start stepping up and doing the business. We're getting into good areas, and it's only that little bit of quality you need to see. I thought Brad showed that quality with his finish, but we didn't do that often enough in that last action. If you don't do it and you don't go and win the game, it's simple as that. What can I say? Now, short of going out and spending millions on a striker that probably won't work out for us, you could go the other way and you could bring in a handful of strikers at bargain basement prices and see if any of them hit. Or we've got a striker who's scoring goals for League 2 Sutton United, bring him back and get that youthful side youthful edge into the team. Because all of our strikers are not spring chickens, are they? What's Bradshaw like? Is he like 26, 27? Matt Smith's 30 odd, isn't he? Benica Phobe's quite old as well. Get Isaac Loffian with his fresh legs, youthful exuberance, and get him going at them. That might be the way, and why not? Just try it. If it doesn't work, bring him back in January. If it doesn't work, ask Sutton if they want to take him back. He can go back. Why not? Bring him back in January and play him in the league game. See if it works. If it doesn't work, you can always go back out on loan. I'm sure Sutton, you're not going to be that happy about him being messed around with him coming back and then going back to them if that happens. But so what? So what? We've got to do what's best for Millwall, and why not just try it? See if it works. You got to do something. Short of spending £10 million on a striker, what are you going to do? So there you go. A lack of goals, created loads of chances, was not clinical in front of goal. Now the weather played a part, I'm sure, but yeah. So here we go. Another game where we're struggling, and we ended up losing 2-1. It's only our third defeat in 15 games, but and they had won 3 games in a row before, so the odds are that they were going to win a 4th in a row, and they did, and we lost 2-1. So now we go into December, and the players will have a week off, I think, and we've got Birmingham City. So we've got Birmingham City on the 4th of December. Home game. That's a winnable game, but you can see, you look at the table on the right hand side. So they've got 26 points, we've got 27. They're right there. They're one of the pack. Like the Middlesbrough game, we need to start. We need to win games against the teams in this pack in order for us to rise to the top of the pack. Now, if we can go further and get into the playoff pictures, that would be good. But let's just get to the top of this pack first, and in order to do that, we're gonna have to score goals. So can we do that? I don't know. Anyway, that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.